Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. It's Monday. You know it is. You're looking amazing. You must have had a good weekend. Obviously, we had a lot of drama over the weekend, what with the Trump situation. Now, I don't get involved in politics, whether it be UK or US, but all I can say is, look, the guy took it well. It's horrible because you would hope that the world would be different, but it just ain't. I do believe that the detail around him made some fatal errors, but that's as far as I can go with commenting on it. And let's just hope that everyone can move forward. But let's take a moment to think about the person who did indeed lose their life. Now, we're going to be talking about the Jay Slater case this morning, purely because Mum yesterday, she made a statement about things that were being said around the case. So I'm going to just go over this and then just touch on it, okay? Because she says Debbie Duncan's condemned vile comments and conspiracy theories that are filling social media and that the family is aware of them. So they're aware of the things that are being said. Now, it's very important just to remember this. Right, so the mother of Miss and Jay Slater says the family is aware of vile comments and conspiracy theories which are hindering investigations in Tenerife. So the comments that are online and on social media are hindering the investigation in Tenerife. Almost 4 weeks since her son's disappearance, Debbie Duncan has issued a statement through the British Overseas Missing Persons charity LBT Global. While saying the family cannot put into words its heartache, Ms Duncan also said certain comments online are very distressing for us all to read. She commented, "We are aware of the awful comments and conspiracy theories that are filling social media. The only way that something can be deemed as a conspiracy theory is if it's unlikely to be true and likely been proven not to be accurate. It's like saying that anybody who says aliens exist, for instance, and they're being hidden by the US government, for instance. Someone could say that, and that would be deemed as a conspiracy theory. But we don't know if that's a conspiracy theory or not. We don't know whether aliens are being hidden anywhere. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but it is incredibly possible. It is possible. And with respect, something a little bit more realistic, if somebody turns around and says that Jay Slater, for instance, was involved in doing something nefarious that got him murdered, for instance, yes, you could say that that's a conspiracy theory as such. It's a vile theory. But how do you know it isn't true? And we're going to stick a pin in it because I'm going to ask you a question in a second. So it says, I don't understand how anything being said online, whether it be in comments of videos or whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, how they can hinder an investigation into whatever happened to Jay Slater when the official narrative in terms of law enforcement would seemingly be that Jay Slater went to a B&B, an Airbnb with two gentlemen. The two gentlemen who he went there with have been deemed irrelevant to the case and sent back to the UK. They've gone, they've left. And Jay, of his own volition, decided to walk because a situation with the bus. He couldn't wait for it, perhaps, or he'd thought he'd missed it. He was mistaken and thought he'd missed it. But that is the story. That is what we're supposed to believe. Now, you talk about investigation. Well, who else is being investigated? Because if you believe what all of his friends around him stated, Lucy, for instance, and Brad, then the trip to the Airbnb actually happened. Kasim has confirmed that it happened. He went there. He left there of his own volition. So if there's some other investigation, what is the investigation? Why hasn't anybody else been brought in for questioning? What is going to change? So when people are talking about alternatives, there must be an alternative to that narrative. There must be an alternative. So any of these comments out here that are being deemed as vile, for instance, one of them could be accurate. Some of them could be accurate. There could be elements of them that are accurate. That silly motherfucking ex-Met cop, who's supposedly investigating, he himself has said that there's conspiracy theories online, but there are also theories that have threads of potential truth within them. All we know is Jay's missing. And again, stick a pin in that. He flew out to the Spanish island with friends on the 13th of June to attend a music festival at Papagayo nightclub in the southern resort of Playa del Americas. 3 days later, at 8:30 a.m. on 17th of June, he called his friend Lucy Law, telling her he had missed a bus. Now, that doesn't appear to be accurate. There was apparently a bus at around 10 a.m., 10:30. Correct me if I'm wrong. His phone battery was on 1%. And he had cut his leg on a cactus. So he was already, by this time, 8:30 a.m, Lucy is claiming here, or it is claimed that he is already on his journey and seemingly cut his leg on a cactus. So they're trying to say that he's gone off-road. So this is one of the points that seems to be pointing and passing all of the blame of what has happened onto Jay. We are not anything to do with this. Jay made stupid decisions, and Jay got himself into difficulty. And a phone battery on 1%, yet one of the guys who he attended the Airbnb with claims that they offered him a charger. What he apparently didn't use. We've said this before. His mother said, as we approach 4 weeks of our beautiful Jay's disappearance, it's actually 4 weeks 1 day, or 4 weeks 2 days, we cannot put into words the heartache we are suffering as a family. He is loved by everyone, has a close bond with his family and many, many friends. Which, he does seem to have good friends, and I'm sure his family are pulling their fucking hair out. But you can't criticise people for this situation when it's like you're reading some sort of... It's like a film script. It's like a fucking film script. It's like Essex Boys, 9, whatever film we're on now. Do you know what I mean? It's sad, Jay's missing. But the point where I want to conclude out on is... If Jay walked away from that Airbnb of his own volition and he went off-road and went to cut through the ravines, etc., then Jay is not alive. Jay is not alive. It's over a month since he walked away from that Airbnb. And as sad and tragic as it sounds, that is fact. That is fact. If Jay would have got to somebody... anybody, he is known enough around that area now, and this story, and him himself would have been able to reach out to law enforcement or someone in order to make them aware that he is okay. The fact that he has not, a month plus down the line, contacted anybody to say, look, I'm okay, I'm fine, means he is not. The question now is whether what happened to Jay Slater was under his own volition or it was not. And until it is proven beyond a reasonable doubt that what happened to Jay was indeed under his own volition, it is wrong to call anything that's been said as a conspiracy theory or vile. You may feel it's vile, you may not like the fact that your privacy is being invaded or people have comments upon what has happened, but that's life. People follow true crime, they follow cases, they follow things that are put in the news, in the media. And the fact that you as a family have not seemingly done any public appeals of any such, you haven't appeared on television like this morning, for instance, that kind of thing, and reached out and appealed. There's been no offer of, at this point, as I'm filming this, there's been no offer of a reward of any description whatsoever. Law enforcement have indeed seemingly concluded that Jay did do this of his own volition, and what with Jay's past, which you can't stick your head in the sand and ignore, it exists, you can't expect everybody to behave the way in which you want them to behave. Life ain't like that. And yes, sometimes it sucks, and when you're on the receiving end of that, that's going to be horrible, and it isn't going to in your eyes, it isn't going to be bring any positivity to things. But the good thing is you can choose to not look at social media. You can keep off social media, and perhaps just look at doing things that actually helps your son. Search as much as you can. I don't know what you're going to find, but if it's in that ravine, it isn't going to be good. And and put up a damn reward. Put up a reward. Maybe someone will say something, because I'm guessing that you either now have conceded that you're looking for a body, or you have conceded that you do not believe the official narrative. So perhaps one of these conspiracy theories you actually think might not be too far from the truth. Where are you at with it? Let me know. Comment down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one.